Welcome to Bhakti Steps. I hope you can see my screen. The prayers on the screen. Please repeat with me. Om Ajnanatimidasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manu Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Yuktapadagamam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Savana Raghunathamitam Tam Sajivam. साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजन सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बुद्धि जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुत देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So welcome. You are able to see my screen, right, and hear me? Yes. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So we'll continue our science of self-realization. Yesterday we were reading from this chapter 6,
Okay.
the conversation between Lieutenant Mose, who is Chicago Police Department media relation person, with Srila Prabhupada. And we had completed till this point. So, so can you read Lieutenant Mose? I will read Srila Prabhupada. Hmm?
Okay. There is a Christian parable that says it is easier for camel to go through the eyes of a needle than the rich man came to before the throne of God. Do you think wealth of the United States and other Western countries is a block to spiritual faith?
Um, so one of the question that Moses is raising is too much of wealth a reason of increase in crime, you know, or is it increase, or it takes away a person from spiritual faith? So the answer is actually yes. And Prabhupada
Yeah.
says that too much wealth is a block. Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita 2.44, Bhogeshwara prasaktanam taya aparta chetasam vyavasatmaka buddhir samadho no vidyate. Bhoga Aishwarya prasaktanam. So this first two words, no, Bhoga Aishwarya. Bhoga means to enjoy, Aishwarya means opulence. We'll just go over there. If the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and you are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. So, if mind is too much attached to enjoyment and opulence, then it becomes difficult to follow spiritual life. If one is materially very opulent, he forgets God. Therefore, too much material wealth is a disqualification for understanding God. Although there is no absolute law that only a poor man can understand God, generally, if one is extraordinarily rich, his only ambition is to acquire money, and it's difficult for him to understand spiritual teachings. So, there's one very nice story. There was a merchant who would uh, who would sell clothes, you know. And throughout his life, he made a lot of money, but he was very least interested in spiritual life. And at the end of his, like, he became old, and his children took over the business, and they were taking care of it nicely. But the children were very spiritually minded, so they said that now that you have become old, and now you should focus on spiritual life. But then he was not understanding that spiritual life is important. So they said, okay, you go for pilgrimage. So they arranged a brahmana, and with the brahmana they arranged a pilgrimage to Kashi, that is Varanasi. Now, when they reached, the brahmana and the merchant, they reached Varanasi. The brahmana took him to various ghats of Varanasi, and one of the ghat is where lot of dead bodies are burnt. So looking at that, lot of dead bodies are getting burnt and all that. This merchant, had tears in his eyes. So then the brahmana thought maybe he's getting some spiritual realization. So when they reached their room, the brahmana asked him, "So, what was your realization today?" The merchant said, "I had no idea that wood was in so much of demand. If I had done business in wood, then I would have become even more rich, because so much wood is required to burn the bodies." So he was looking at that whole, depth, and by materialistic viewpoint only, by business viewpoint only. Why? Because he was very much attached to bhoga aishwarya, too much of opulence and enjoyment. He was very attached. So even though we may show him the reality of this world, it will be very difficult for him to understand spiritual teachings. So Lieutenant Moses says, you can read this. Can you read? Haribol, you there? Can you read? Are you on mute? Can you read? In America, those who belong to Christian faith also believe these things, but I do not see any vast difference between spiritual beliefs of one religious and another. So he's saying that there is not much differences between spiritual belief of many religious people. And Prabhupada says, yes, the essence is the same. Our proposal is whatever religious system one may follow, he should try to understand God and love Him. If you are Christian, we do not say this is not no good, you must become like us. No, our proposition is that whether you are Christian, Muslim, or Hindu, simply try to understand God and love Him. So we are not here for conversion. Conversion is not our purpose. Gaudiya Vaishnavas are not there for conversion. Our proposition is you simply try to understand God and love Him. You access our literatures to understand Him more, and then you keep following whatever faith you are following. Lieutenant Mose, he says, if I could return to my original purpose of coming, may I ask what advice you would give to assist us in reducing crime? I recognize that the first and foremost way would be to return to God, as you say, there is no doubt about that. But is there something that we could immediately do to diminish the spreading criminal mentality? So, main purpose of this discussion was to reduce, what are the points in reducing crime. Now he's saying, can we do something immediately? And Prabhupada said, yes, I have already outlined in the beginning. We should give us the facility to chant the holy name and distribute prasad. Then there will be tremendous change in the population. I came alone from India and now I have many followers. What did I do? I asked them to sit down and chant the Hare Krishna mantra, and after that, I distributed a little prasad. If this is done on a mass scale, the entire society will become pleasing. This is a fact. So the process is very simple. Yesterday we were discussing these three things. You come to temple, you chant Hare Krishna, take prasad. When we come to temple, we associate with like-minded people who make sure that we are chanting Hare Krishna, and then we take prasad, the food that will purify us and give us Krishna's love. It is it is without sin and it is full of Krishna's love. That is prasad. Would would you want to start a program in an area of affluence or in an area of poverty? Okay, where would you start? No. Because Chicago has many places. Poverty, affluence. Where? Probably we don't care. We do not draw such distinction. Any place easily available to all kinds of men would be very suitable to hold Sankirtan. We just need a place, wherever it may be. There is no restriction that only poor people need to benefit but rich do not. Both need to benefit, rich and poor. Everyone needs to be purified. Do you think criminal exist only in poorer section of society? Left and Muslim? No. But I meant to ask whether there would be more of a beneficial influence, more of a strengthening of his community if the program were held in poor area rather than affluent area. Our treatment is for spiritually diseased people. When person is afflicted with a disease, there is no distinction between poor and rich man. Somebody who is having disease, is he, is he rich or poor? He is diseased, right? In the hospital, he is given the same treatment as a poor man and as a rich person. When people had COVID, it affected everyone, poor, rich, right? And the hospital gave equal treatment to both. Just as a hospital should be a place in where both the poor man and the rich man can easily come, the location of Sankirtan facility should be easily accessible to all. Since everyone is materially infected, everyone should be able to take advantage. The difficulty is that the rich man thinks he is perfectly healthy, although he is most diseased of all. Sometimes rich people think I am very healthy, but actually they have diseases, and this disease is not material disease but spiritual disease. Spiritual disease means what? Any comment on spiritual disease? What do you think about spiritual disease? Yes. Spiritual disease is uninterested in spiritual life and interested in bhoga aishwarya, too much enjoyment and after opulence, not thinking about what will happen after death. You know, will I always remain rich even after death? Not necessary, right? After we die, all our richness, possessions remain here. Nobody is able to even take 1 rupee with him. But as a policeman, you well know that there is criminality among rich and poor men alike. So our chanting process is for everyone because it cleanses the heart, regardless of the man's opulence or poverty. The only way to permanently change the criminal habit is to change the heart of the criminal. See, so many criminals are put into jail, but the moment they come out, what do they do again? Do you know? Do you know? Even after coming from jail, they still commit the same crime and they're put again and again into jail. But if the heart is changed, heart means the intention. within the heart, the desire within the heart, that itself gets changed. That I'm not going to do this again. If that changes, then one comes out of the jail and he doesn't do it at all. As you well know, many thieves are arrested numerous times and put into jail. Although they know that if they commit theft, they will go to jail. Still, they are forced to steal because of their unclean hearts. Therefore, without cleansing the heart of the criminal, you cannot stop the crime simply by more stringent law enforcements. The thief and murderer already knows the law, yet they still commit violent crimes due to unclean hearts. So our process is to cleanse the heart. Then all the troubles of this material world will be solved. Yeah, but that's very difficult task. It is not difficult. Simply invite everyone, come chant Hare Krishna, dance, take sumptuous prasad. What is the difficulty? See, the process is very simple. Come together, chant, dance, and spiritual dance, and take prasad. Everyone will come. We are doing this in our center. People are coming, but because we have very little money, we can hold Sankirtan only on small scale. We invite everyone, and gradually people are coming to our centers and becoming devotees. If the government would give us large facility, however, we could expand unlimitedly. And the problem is big. Otherwise, why there are national news articles asking what to do? No civil state wants this criminality. That's a fact. But the leaders do not know how to stop it. If they listen to us, however, we can give them the answer. Why crime? Because people are godless and what to do? Chant Hare Krishna, take prasad. If you like, you can adopt this process, Sankirtan. Otherwise, we can continue conducting in our small scale. We are just like poor medical man with small practical practice who could open a big hospital if he were given a facility. The government is the executor. If they take our advice and adopt the process of Sankirtan, then the problem of crime will be solved. Left and Mosaic. There are many Christian organizations in the United States that give the Holy Communion. Why doesn't that work? Why is this not cleansing the heart? Well, he says already Christian organizations are doing it, but it's not working, right? Srila Prabhupada says, to speak frankly, I find it difficult to find even one real Christian. The so-called Christians do not abide to Bible's order. One of the 10 commandments in the Bible is, thou shalt not kill. But where is that Krishna who does not kill by eating flesh of the cow? The process of chanting the holy name and distributing prasad will be effective if one carried out by persons who are actually practicing religion. So he says the Christians are not following this principle. What? Thou shalt not kill. They are killing cows and they are killing animals. And that is affecting them. So therefore they are not pure. My disciples are trained to strictly follow religious principle and therefore their chanting of the holy name is different from others. See, when we strictly follow the religious principles, then our chanting also becomes pure. It is not a simple rubber stamp position. They have realized the purifying power of the holy name through practice. Now, this is a very important statement. You have to realize the purifying power of the holy name through practice. So we have to do proper practice by following the regulative principles. Then the holy name will purify us, and that will be our realization. Sir, isn't the difficulty that although a small circle of priests and devotees may follow religious principles, those on the fringe deviate and cause trouble? For example, assume that the Hare Krishna movement grows to gigantic proportions as Christianity has. Wouldn't you have a problem with people who on the fringe of the movement who profess to be followers but actually not? So he says, just like Prabhupada said, that there is no real Christian. And same thing, someone may not be fully following Hare Krishna but will be telling I am a Hare Krishna. Prabhupada says, yes, that's a possibility is there. But all I'm saying is that if you are not a true Christian, then your preaching will not be effective. And because we are strictly following religious principle, our preaching will be effective in spreading God consciousness and elevating the problems of crime. So let me thank you for your time. I will deliver this tape according to my superior. Hopefully it will be effective as you are effective. Thank you very much. So we are ending. Any questions at this point? Any questions or comments?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. Can we keep, so next topic is, can we keep society from going to dogs? He speaks this at Indian Bhavan Journal. A dog comes when there are some eatables. I say hut and he goes up. But again he comes. He has no memory. When our memory of God is reducing, that means our human qualities are reducing. There is no religion. Simply a dog's race. A dog is running on four legs and we are running on four wheels. That's all. And you think this that the four wheel race is advancement of civilization. Let's get into this. Do you want to read what the interviewer says, Prabhuji? Haribol? Do you want to read this interviewer? I will read the Philopapa.
Yeah, probably. The
Go
first
ahead.
question is this: is the influence of religion on the when, and if so, does this factor account for the increase in corruption and widespread deterioration of moral values?
Sorry. Religion is on wane means it is reducing, it is decreasing. And is that the reason of widespread increase in corruption and deterioration of moral values? And the answer is yes. It is predicted in Srimad Bhagavatam 12 point. Tataschanudinam dharma satya socham shamadaya kalena balina rajan nankshati ayur balam smriti. In the Kali Yuga, the present age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the following things will diminish: religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, mercy, duration of life, bodily strength, and memory. So, in the present age that we are, it's only 5,000 years have happened. More 4 lakh years are going to go. 4 lakh 32,000, sorry. It's a long time. But at this point only, we are saying that religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, mercy, duration of life, bodily strength, this is all on decrease. So these are human assets which make human being distinct from animal. But these things will decline. There will be no mercy. There will be no truthfulness. Memory will be short. And duration life will be cut short. Similarly, religion will vanish. That means that gradually we'll come to the platform of animals. Religion will vanish. We'll become animals. Especially when there is no religion, it is simply animal life. Any common man can distinguish that dog does not understand what religion is. The dog is also a living being, but he's not interested in understanding Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. He's not interested. That is a distinction between man and dog. The animal is not interested. Yesterday we were discussing this point. This particular verse comes in Mahabharata. This is the verse that Srila Prabhupada is pointing. Ahara nidra vayamaitune vacha समान एत्वात पशुभिः निराणम् धर्मो हि तेषामधिको विशेषु धर्मेण हि न पशुभिः समानः. What it says is that there are four things which are common to animals and human beings. What are those? Eating, sleeping, waiting, defending. Then what is that which separates human being from animal? What do you think? Yes. So it is actually dharma. Dharma means to question about life. Hmm? To question what will happen after death, what is karma, hmm? Why I am suffering. All these questions are dharma. So if dharma is not there, then we are simply animals, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So when human beings become uninterested in religious things, then they are animals. And how can there be happiness or peace in animal society? They want to keep people like animals and they are making a United Nations. How is that possible? United Animals. Society of United Animals. Things are going on. So United Nations is actually like, United Animals. It's like people in that are acting like animals. So can is there any hope for that? So do you see any hopeful signs? At least they have detected that religion is declining. That is good. Declining means that they are going to be animals. In logic, it is said that man is a rational animal. When the rationality is missing, then he is simply an animal, not a human being. The human society, either you become Christian, Mohammedan, Hindu, Buddhist, it doesn't matter. There must be some system of religion. Human society without religion is an animal society. There is a plain fact. Why are people so unhappy now? Because there is no religion. They are neglecting religion. One gentleman has written me that Tolstoy once said, unless dynamite is put underneath the church, there cannot be any peace. Even now, the Russian government is very strictly against God consciousness because they think that religion has spoiled the whole social atmosphere. So, Prabhupada is saying we need to establish religious principles, but then there are some people who say that it is religion which is increasing war. Like, there was this great riot, and in Russia, basically, at that point in the 70s, people were becoming very, very atheists. Hmm? So they were becoming atheists because they saw that religion was used to perpetuate war. Religion was used to perpetuate war. Okay. So interviewer says there seems there could be some truth in that. The religious system might have been misused, but that does not mean that religion should be avoided. So Prabhupada said that people think that religion perpetuate wars, where actually it has been misused. Under the garb of religion, there are some who want to fight wars. Okay, like some religion says we are religion of peace, but then there are terrorists coming out from that religion. Unnecessary killing is happening. So people are using religion to perpetuate violence. So Prabhupada is saying we should go for what is real religion. Real religion should be taken. It does not mean that because religion has not been properly executed by so-called priest, religion should be rejected. Religion is not the problem. Just like Prabhupada says, if my eye is giving some trouble on account of cataract, it doesn't mean that eye should be plucked out. Cataract is a thin layer of obstacle in between the eye, right? And in the cataract operation, that thin layer is removed and then one can see. So when the propensity to misuse religion is removed, then religion can be work effectively. The interviewer says, I think history shows that many people have misused religion. Isn't that a fact? Anyone wants to read what Srila Prabhupada is saying? Does anyone want to read?
I can read Prabhu Hare
Oh,
Krishna.
yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, go ahead.
Srila Prabhupada. These people have no conception of God and they are preaching religion. What is religion? Dharma to sakshat bhagvat paranitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Supreme Lord. They have no conception of God. They do not know what God is. And they are professing some religion. How long can it go artificially? It will deteriorate. That has become the present condition. They have no idea of God. So, how will they know what is the order of God? Religion means the order of God. For example, law means the order of state. If there is no state, then there is no, where is the order? We have a clear conception of God, Krishna. He is giving his order, and we accept it. It is clear religion. If there is no God, no conception of God, no order of God, then where is religion? If there is no government, then where is the law?
Yeah.
So,
So,
Prabhuji, interviewer, somebody else will speak.
yeah, before that, I want to just
Yeah,
discuss one
sure,
point here.
sure, sure.
Um, See, people should have clear conception of God. If there is no clear conception of God, then there will be problems. Fortunately, in the Vedic system that we are in, we have clear conception of God. And here God incarnates, he sets examples through itihasas like Ramayana and Mahabharata. And that gives, and through Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, he gives so many instructions of how to live a religious life and how to perfect one's life, right? So having a clear conception of God is very, very important. Okay. So I will read the interview, you read what Srila Prabhupada is saying. Okay. Well, there wouldn't be any law. It would be an outlaw society. Go ahead.
Outlaw? Everyone is an outlaw. Manufacturing is his own concocted system of religion that is going on. Just ask in any religious system, what is the conception of God? Can anyone tell clearly? No one can tell. But we shall immediately say, Venum quantum arva
Venun Kanantam Aravinda Dalayatakszam Barhavatam
Buddham
Asitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarva Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
I worship Govinda, the primeval god, who is adept in playing on his flute, whose blooming eyes are like lotus petal, whose head is beducted with a peacock's feather, whose figure of beauty is tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and whose unique loveliness charms millions of cupids. Brahma Samhita 5.3. Immediately we can give description of God. If there is no idea of God, then what kind of religion is that?
Yeah. In this point now I will tell you. Uh, if you see, we just print God in Google, we get this famous picture. If you see, he's shown like a old man, right? Very old man, and trying to touch and all that. So this is the conception of God in other religions because they don't have that understanding. Okay, they don't have access to Vedic literature. But if I say Krishna, we clearly know. You know, Krishna is 300, three-bended form with a flute, Kaustubh Mani, yellow garment, and there is tons of literature on Krishna, right? There is Srimad Bhagavatam, there is Mahabharata, there is Ramayana. This all things needs to be. I mean, we are born in Bharata version, so therefore we know. So therefore we have a very good idea about God. I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
It is bogus. People have no conception of God and therefore they have no understanding of religion. That is the decline, and because religion is declining, the human beings are becoming more and more animals. Animal means that one has no memory. A dog comes when there are some eatables. I say hut, he goes away. But again comes, he has no memory. So, when our memory of God is reducing, that means that our human qualities are reducing. In Kali Yuga, these human qualities will be reduced. That means the people are becoming like cats and dogs.
Yeah. Here is the second question the interviewer is asking. The traditional charge against Vedic culture is that it is fatalistic, that it makes people slaves to the belief in predestination, and that it therefore inhibits progress. How far is this charge true? Uh, we know about destiny. So Vedic culture says everything is destined. Okay. So then, if everything is destined, then do I need to do any progress or do I need to do any effort? Well, everything is progress. Everything is destined, right? So you say that makes a people fatalistic. Fatalistic. Let's see, what does this mean? Events are predetermined, cannot be changed. So if they cannot be changed, I need not put effort, right? So, uh, people are becoming lazy. This is one of the traditional charge against Vedic culture. This is what an interviewer is saying. Prabhupada takes it a little differently. Let's see. Go ahead.
What is that progress? If a dog's jumping progress, is that progress? A dog is running here and there on four legs, and you are running here and there on four wheels of the automobile. Is that a progress? That is not the Vedic system. According to Vedic system, the human beings has a certain amount of energy, and since the human beings has better consciousness than animals, the energy of human beings is more valuable than energy of the animals.
So Prabhupada says, okay, you're talking about progress. But what progress are you talking about? It is just technological progress, right? Hmm? At the end, what you're simply doing is you are simply improving the eating, sleeping, waiting, defending. That's it. There is no higher consciousness, right? All our progress, all the companies that we are, they are only focused on either of one of the three, one of the four things: eating, sleeping, waiting, defending. For eating, so many restaurants are there, franchises are there. Sleeping, so many companies who are focusing on sleep, producing many, what to say, beds and all that, right? Mating, you know there are industries just to increase the sexual fantasies. Okay, and defending, there are huge corporations of defense, right? Arms, bombs. But is that progress? You getting what Prabhupada is trying to say?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is saying that the progress that you're telling is actually not a progress. It only enhances the eating, sleeping, mating progress. But at the end, what happens is you're going to take next life, and you're not done anything to improve that next life. If you simply live like an animal, then next life is guaranteed to be animal. Therefore, human being prerogative is very important to understand, that we can do spiritual life and we can better, and we can progress in spiritual life. Probably no one can dispute that human being has more freedom, I suppose, responsibility than animals. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, Prabhu. So human energy would be utilized for spiritual advancement. Not that the energy would be employed to complete with dog. The saintly person is not busy like dog. Today people think that dogness is life, but actual life is spiritual progress. Therefore the Vedic literature says, Prabhuji, would you read this?
तस्यैव हेतु प्रयते त्वकोविडो न लभ्यते यत् ब्रह्मतम् उपरि अधः ताल लभ्यते दुःखवाद अन्यतः सुखम कालेन सर्वदा भविरी रामसः रमसः.
Person who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for the purposeful end which is not obtainable even by wandering from topmost Brahmaloka, planet Brahmaloka, down to the lowest planet Patala. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in the course of time. Just as the course of time we obtain miseries, even though we do not desire them.
Okay.
Bhagavad Gita 1.5.1.
Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.8. So here is where Prabhupada is saying what is destined. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it is obtained automatically in course of time. Even the miseries are automatic. Whether we desire them or don't desire them, they come. Right? Do miseries ask, can I come? Huh? When you become sick, do they ask, can I come?
No problem.
And when you become healthy, like I am sick for last 4 days, you know, I myself didn't knew when I will become sick, but then now. So point is that is destined. What is material enjoyment and material distress is destined. But what is not destined? Your spiritual progress. That is not destined. That we have to work on. Okay, that we have to work on. So could you further explain? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Madaji.
Yes, sorry, brother. The human being should exert his energy for that thing that he did not get in many, many lives. In many, many lives, the soul has been in the forms of dogs and demigods, or cats, birds, beasts, and many others. There are 8 lakh 40,000 species, different types of bodies. So this transmigration of the soul is going on. The business in every case is sense gratification.
Yeah. See, we are taking births in many, many species. All animal species, aquatics, and all that. So this is the transmigration, the evolution of the soul is happening. Okay. Hmm? But all we are doing is simply sense gratification in one life or the another. Can you read?
Yes, Prabha. For example, the dog is busy for sense gratification. Where is the food? Where is the shelter? Where is female? Where is defense? The man is also doing the same business in different ways. This business is going on life after life. Even a small insect is trying for the same thing. Birds, feast, beast, fish. Everywhere, the same struggle is going on. Where is food? Where is sex? Where is shelter? And how to defend? The Vedic literature says that these things we have done for many, many lives, and that if we don't get out of this struggle for existence, we will have to do them again for many, many lives.
Okay, I'm beginning to see.
So basically, it's like a cycle, and if we don't come out of that cycle, then we'll continue to do this. Yes, Prabhu?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But Prabhu, one question comes to my mind. Like, for example,
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, tell. You're on mute? Uh, did you drop?
sorry, I don't know how it got dropped.
Ah,
So the question I was asking, while while we all understand this, like we understand that this is the life, we have to come out of this, a cycle of birth and death, and that can help only when we'll focus on bhakti and spirituality. But in life we have a lot of duties, like especially not as a family duty, as a mother or as a wife or anything, like like for me it's uh, like a work, right? And work is just becoming so hectic and so never ending. Like even though I know that I have to join this call at 7:30 and the calls are going on, and I know I'm you know, waiting to join some of these calls. I want to, progress here, but it just, the calls keep on going from 9 to 9. We're just working without without, trying to I really don't know how to escape from that, because those kind of pressures are there at work, and
Right.
I know many of us face a similar thing.
Yes,
So how
I
do we
agree.
deal with in such scenarios, Prabhu?
Yeah. So I fully agree that at least in today's context, right? We are just too busy. You know, we are just too busy in our material life that when to take to spiritual life, right? Um, so so what is recommended is that uh, we start with what is called as karma yoga. Okay, in karma yoga what we do is we do our duty. Okay, we can't give up our duty, we have to do our duty in a selfless manner. This is first thing. Do our duty in selfless manner. Whatever honor, dishonor, success, failure we get, don't get too much disturbed by it. Just do our duty in a selfless manner. Second thing is uh, understand that you are not the doer. You are not the doer in sense that this particular body that we are in, right? It is pushing us to do all these things. Okay. Now I am in this human body. I am in the man's body, right? So I have to do some activity, do my part. Okay. But as the real identity goes, I am the soul, and my real activity is connected with Krishna, right? But I am now in this body, and it's pushing. So understand that it is not just that we are doing things, we are accomplishing with the help of the three modes, with the help of the super soul. Okay, we are just part of the whole work. Okay, we are not. What happens is if we think now I did it, then we become attached to that work. Okay, we become proud, and we think we are very powerful. But in reality, like I always give this example. Let's see. Yeah. Now we see an excavator here, and the operator is digging. So now the question is, who did the actual digging? Who is doing the actual digging? If I ask you, what is your answer?
Operator.
Yeah, but did the operator himself dug it with his own hands? No, right? He
No.
used the excavator to dig it, right? So we are using things to do our stuff. And again, is he doing it independently? Unless the company says you have to dig it here, he cannot use the instrument, right? Isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
So, uh, technically speaking, operator will be responsible, right? But he needs to understand that he did the digging with the help of the excavator under the direction of the owner. You're getting? So this is the correct understanding. Similarly, Krishna says we are there is the soul, and here is the big excavator that we are using, and this excavator belongs to Krishna. So now from this perspective, understand what you are. Are you the real doer? When we were babies, we were not able to even walk, right? Right? We were not even able to walk. So right now we are walking, running, we are doing so many things. Are we the actual doer? Our body is helping us to achieve all these accomplishments, right? So we should give due credit to the body, isn't it? So this body is made of the three modes, and the three modes belong to Krishna. So in that sense, we should understand that we are just part of the doer. And Krishna tells this in 18th chapter. There are 5 causes of work. The place of action, that is the body, the performer, the various senses, the different kinds of endeavor that we put, and ultimately the super soul. These are 5 factors of the action. So we should know that there are 5 things which are actually working to accomplish anything. Where the super soul is also there, the body is also there, the 3 modes are there, I am there, performer is there, my senses are there, various different actions I perform, and ultimately the super soul gives success or failure or whatever. Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer and not considering the 5 factors is certainly not intelligent, cannot see things as they are. So this is the philosophical understanding that we need to understand when we do any work in this world, that we are not the doer. When we understand we are not the doer, or let's put it very specifically, we are not the only doer, then we become detached. See, this detachment is very important. You understand this point? If we don't become detached, right, we'll be attached to this world and we'll be attached to our accomplishments, and we will lose our focus on Krishna consciousness and spiritual life. But when we understand, okay, it has been carried by the 3 modes, the ability is Krishna is giving me this ability, okay, and with that ability I am doing it, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, uh, uh, 15.15. This is a very interesting shloka. सर्वस्य चाहम हृदय सन्निविष्टो मतः स्मृतिर ज्ञानम अपोहनम च वैदेश सर्वैर अहम वेदो वेदांतकृत वेदे वेदे चाहम. I am seated in everyone's heart as a super soul, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. So who is giving us remembrance? Who is giving us knowledge? Who is giving us forgetfulness? The super soul. So why are we so proud that I am doing it? I am doing it. I am doing it. This is me and mine. That concept comes. So on philosophical level, we should understand that I am not the only doer. Krishna is helping me through his energies and all that, and I am able to accomplish. This is to see God's hand in everything that we do. You understand this point?
Yes, Prabhu.
Why this is important is when we understand Krishna is there in everything that we are doing, we start to see Krishna everywhere. And this is also part of spiritual life, to see Krishna everywhere.
Mm.
And when we see Krishna everywhere, third thing is, then we start utilizing the results of our karma in loka sangraha. The word used is loka sangraha, welfare of everyone. Okay, we become, we are thinking of welfare of everyone, and we utilize results in service of Krishna. And fifth thing is yeah, whatever we do in our duty, we should do it according to Vedic principle. We should not do things which are against the Vedic principle, otherwise we'll be in problem. So here, whatever we are doing, right, we should do it in these 4 things. Selfless duty. Okay, now that you have to perform your duty, do it selflessly. Okay, understand you are not the only doer. Be detached. Hmm? Then the results that you put it in Krishna's service, you put it in service, welfare of everyone. See, Loka Sangraha could also mean family welfare also. So, following the family traditions, following family dharmic rituals and all that, engaging a whole family in dharmic rituals. Okay, especially in Krishna consciousness, service and all that to Krishna. Then our results and our karma get starts purifying, and then we are not so much bogged down. See, ultimately, when you come that, okay, my hard work is getting utilized in service of Krishna, you will be happy, right? Isn't it?
True, true, true.
Yeah. So that's what we need to,
Focus on.
yes, that whatever hard work I'm doing right now, I have to do, because that's what, I'm stuck in. I'm
For
stuck.
example, for example, like you're doing, and then obviously you know that maybe you're due for promotion, or probably maybe you've been looking out for a job, good job, because the current job has toxic culture, or you're not enjoying it, right? And but you're still struggling some of these nuances, because at the end of the day you need finances to carry on,
Yes. Yes.
education, and then kids, and
Right.
also to serve Krishna also, right? Like I do, the moment my salary comes, I do certain part of the first transaction is always I transfer for the ISKCON Whitefield or temple construction or something.
Yeah.
So uh, so all of that is given and due, but still when you are
Okay. So this is one
you
part
get
of it.
bogged down,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
bogged down by
No,
that. Okay,
yeah,
you're
I
not it.
understand. I understand. I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
So now, with this karma yoga, right, we have to do bhakti, bhakti yoga sadhana. This is where we need to add. Like when we feel bogged down and all that, no, we have to do bhakti yoga sadhana. So that it requires is first we need to chant the holy names. We have to take shelter of Krishna. So whatever is right now possible, one round, two round, we should do whatever is possible. Okay, this is how we remain connected with Krishna. This every day we have to chant the holy name. Shelter of We have to take shelter of Krishna. There are five things actually. I will list down. Okay, I will list down, but it is for us to know what is possible, right? Second is, uh, okay, let's see. Take help of little bit Google just to find important things of devotional service. Yeah. See, these five things we should try to bring as much as in our life. First is chant the holy name of Lord, chanting of Hare Krishna
Hmm.
Mahamantra.
Hmm.
Second is worship the deity of Krishna in temple or inside our house. Deity or
Hmm.
picture also is fine. Picture also is fine. Offering a little bit of arti every day. Today it may be very much demanding, okay? But just having a Krishna picture and offering, incense or flower also is a big thing. Third thing is reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Every day read a little bit of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Fourth is serving a devotee, associating and serving a devotee. So here it means We take shelter of Guru and we serve. We serve Guru and we serve Vaishnavas. Now, this may not be every day, but at least once a week. And the fifth thing is reside in Mathura. And this reside in Mathura is a very interesting thing. It could mean many different things. It could mean actually Mathura, meaning the holy places. Second, it could mean visiting temples also, visiting local temple. Okay. Third, it could mean our own temple inside our house. Okay. And having
Hmm.
association of devotees like that. So, so these are five potent things of Bhakti Yoga.
Hmm.
In this, there are few more things. Worshipping deities, offering food, and accepting prasad, meaning you offer food to Krishna. Vegetarian food without onion, garlic. Now,
Hmm. Hmm.
whatever you can do, you can start with that. In some homes, uh, you know, there may be some issue. So, even simple rice to offer it to Krishna. That's it.
So, Prabhu, I
Start.
do that. Like I chant 16 rounds. I try and
Yeah,
worship every day, do aarti in the morning.
yeah.
Reading is little bit, on and off because of the work pressure, but I try to read at least one or two shlokas, if not more. I hear Prabhupada lecture, 30 minutes minimum, I try to read. Association is something which I'm not been able to do because I'm unable to go every Sunday feast. That's one, is what I am unable to go. And then the temple is also very far. So these two things I'm unable to do. But yeah, in my own house, I have, pictures of Radha and Krishna where I worship. So I try and do, but still, that there's a lot of anxiousness is still there. It is not going away. Anxiousness and then materialistic goals, or probably just because there are financial liabilities and burdens which are
See,
there,
whatever it
which is,
is,
yeah.
you always focus on the second point of karma yoga, that you be detached.
Sure. Sure.
The thing is, we set out goals fine,
Hmm.
but do it in a detached way,
Okay.
because
What does that mean?
we don't know whether we'll achieve it or not. So don't become obsessed with it.
Hmm.
Don't become obsessed with it. Like, you put your attempt, you put your effort. Like, let's say today, whatever you have become, you
Yeah.
know working this, that. Now, let's say 10 years back, do you saw yourself as you are today? No,
Mhm.
right?
Not really. No.
Not really. It just happened. It just happened.
Hmm.
Okay, and you came to some richness, you came to some luxury, you came to some level, right?
Correct. Correct.
In spite of putting all kinds of effort, right?
Hmm.
And if you look at other friends, they also put effort, and some achieved super luxury,
Hmm.
right? It happens. We see. So we should understand that those things, uh, material happiness and material distress are predestined.
Hmm.
So therefore, we will get what we are supposed to get only. That's it. Only thing, we have to just work for it, and we will get those things. But will we achieve those higher levels that we are thinking and all that? No. So therefore, we have to be detached.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happens is, if we become too attached now, we will become sad that, oh, I didn't able to achieve that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that is what is bogging us down and taking us, mental energy, it is sucking us. You're getting?
I'm getting one more
Ah.
suggestion, Prabhu. Sorry, I'm taking your time. Last question. So sometimes you have to take certain decisions, right? And sometimes those decisions, with respect to job only, I'm talking about, right? So some certain decisions you want to take. So for materially, like it may not sound very great to you, like you know. it may so happen that you are not where you wanted to be, but sometimes you feel that maybe
Hmm.
this is opportunities coming in, whether I should take it or no. How do you decide, keeping in mind your spirituality progress also?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just trying to, I don't know, I couldn't articulate it properly, but
Good one, good
I'm
one.
just trying to say, okay, how to take such calls, especially like a job change or anything that you want to do in life, so that you at least able to do your sadhana also properly, and at the same time, things are going okay. How do we keep spirituality in mind while taking some of these calls?
Yeah, sure. I'll just check whether my word is right or not. It is called psychophysical nature.
Okay.
See, we are born with certain modes. Psychophysical. This is right. See, we are born with certain psychophysical nature, meaning uh, psycho means some mental attitude we have.
Hmm.
Mental attitude means not mental, not madness, but we have certain mental disposition. And then physical, we have certain physical abilities. Everyone has this, okay? Mentally, we have certain abilities in us, and we when um, when we are situated in those kind of work where our mental abilities are fully utilized, then we are happy. Okay.
Yeah.
So when we are thinking about job and all that, we should think from this perspective: is our psychophysical nature satisfied or not in that particular job? Psychologically, are we satisfied? Physically, are we satisfied in that? Then we will be happy to do it. Just like Arjuna, he was a warrior. Okay. Bow and arrow, artman. So he was able to practice his his physical ability was what he was able to practice even in the night. Even in the night, he was practicing shooting arrows and all that. Mentally, he was a warrior. So he was always looking for that kind of role: administrator, warrior, king. So when we are in that particular role, then we will be satisfied. Because why? Because our physically we are ready for it, and mentally also we are ready for it. Let's say if Arjuna was told, okay, sit and write books, mentally he is not there. Physically he may have abilities, but mentally he is not there ना. Mentally बोलेगा क्या books read करूँ मैं. You are getting? So we have certain innate abilities, particular body that we have got today, and we should see whether that particular job is going to satisfy those things or not. This is one consideration. Actually, this is one of the main consideration, where our psychophysical nature is satisfied or not. Let's say we are doing a job where our psychologically we are not satisfied, then we'll be unhappy, right? We'll be always thinking, oh, my ability is little more, but I'm just,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah. So that's the thing. See, look from this perspective. Mentally, are we satisfied? Physically, are we satisfied in that? Now,
Mhm.
today's context is little different, okay? Because today we are in a non-Vedic society, so the jobs that are there are very, very tiring, okay? Very, very demanding, okay? And we need not be always there, okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So in this regard, I'll tell you one short story.
Hmm.
There was this one devotee who was in the 1990s very expert in commerce, very expert in finance. So he was very good at stocks and all that, deciding which stock will grow and all that. So he was working in Bombay Stock Exchange, okay, as an investor. And then his stu- uh, uh, what to say, his classmate, his ex-classmate came to him and he said that you join with me in my business venture. And then he took his to his garage. And in the 1990s, people didn't have many cars, and this person had many cars, and he said, if you work with me you will get all these cars. Now it was a very tempting offer, right? First of all, mentally you can work there, physically you have abilities, mentally you have abilities, right? Because he was made for that, no, finance and stocks and all that. So he was thinking what to do now. So he discussed with one devotee, and he was telling, this friend of mine is coming, and he said that we can earn very quickly, we can become very rich in very short time. I have to just join his firm. So then this devotee made a very nice statement. He said, Krishna doesn't want quick money. Because whenever people say about quick money and all that, now there is always some illegal ways involved. So so the devotee said, Krishna doesn't want quick money. You put your effort, and if you get money out of, and if you earn after it, be happy with it. This quick money and all that, no, may not help. It's not good for spiritual life. Neither it is good for ethical, moral principles. So later, this devotee, he rejected this friend's offer, and few years down the line, his friend was caught in the biggest scams in stock market. His name was Harshad Mehta. So point is, we may have the mental disposition, physical abilities for certain job, but again we have to look whether, is it in the right perspective or not. Is it good for our spiritual life? Is it good for ethical, moral principles, etc.? Okay. And then we should also look, is it good for, my family life also? Sometimes people sacrifice their family life. You're getting? So there are various angles to look at it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So it is not a very easy decision, but when we look at it at various angles, then we can make a very good decision. I worked in a company called Intel, and once, a very senior person was leaving Intel job and all that. He was retiring basically. So he was giving his last call and all that. So he said one very interesting thing. He said, I worked in this company day night, I just put everything in that, and I have reached this highest position, VP, senior VP, etc., etc. In Intel, it's a very big thing, 100,000 people company, and you're reaching that position where 5,000, 10,000 people are under you. But he said one thing, I lost two things in the whole process. He said, I lost my health, and second, he said, I lost my family life also. He had to go through divorce. He said, because I was so much caught in this job, that I sacrificed my family, I sacrificed my health, and now, you know, as retiring, I'm telling you, you don't have to take the same decisions I have to do.
Yeah, we
So
realize much late in our life
yes,
what all we have
yeah,
lost.
so we have to take some help. So if you put, in perspective, is first we should do introspection,
Mm,
our own introspection, about the job, next opportunity, whatever. Second, we should take help of wise people. Take help in sense, take some guidance. What do they think and all that.
mm, mm.
And uh, uh,
So problem is when you take help from, let's say, any senior people like mentors and in a devotees association or congregation like
not
my
not
mentors and
devotees, I would say,
uh, so then
wise
the
people would
perspective.
include. will include both devotees,
Yeah.
non-devotees also.
So what I'm saying is that when I seek guidance from them, the perspective is different. Ki that what is it there? You need to focus more on sadhana. But I know my financial condition. I need to work. I can't quit. Right? I will have to, because at least for next 5 to 7 years I have to do. Given my children are young, and then liabilities, etc. But when I take guidance from, let's say, people who are in my field and then doing really well, then they're like, challenge yourself, go all out, you have caliber. And you get, it's just that, it's such a dilemma that you get stuck. One thing you want to think and then say,
So,
okay,
so
no,
remember,
I did an easy job.
you look from all perspective.
Hmm, hmm,
Family life, this thing, money, etc., etc. You take help people or wise people, both devotees, not devotees, and they should, and they should also be of the similar caliber. Someone who has already worked in that field, right, at that position, worked field and all that, taking help of those will also help, and then take a very risk informed decision. And always remember, whether it is for long term or short term, that also you can decide. Sometimes people get caught up, I have to keep doing this, I have to keep doing this, I have to keep doing you know I would say it is not necessary. For some time it is fine. You understand? Let's say
hmm,
somebody takes up the new position and all that, for some time it is
hmm.
fine. Meaning, let's say 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and then one can change. But what happens is one becomes caught up, and one thinks that, okay, I need to continue in the same way. No, every 2 to 3 years you have to evaluate whether this is working or not,
Hmm.
like that.
Got it.
So because we are in a very complicated situation now,
Yes,
like
Prabhu.
I'll tell you example of Vidura. Vidura, we'll take example, last thing. Whole life he served as a minister of Dhritarashtra.
Correct.
And he was involved in all kinds of politics. The Pandavas are trying to kill in the wax house and all that. He was involved everywhere. Okay, so
Hmm.
let's say, some tens of decades he was involved with this person, with his brother Dhritarashtra and his son, evil son Duryodhan. One fine day when the war was to take place, right? Duryodhan insulted Vidura, and then Vidura thought that this is enough. This is done now. And then Vidura left Dhritarashtra and he went for pilgrimage. So you understand the
No, no,
point.
sorry, Prabhu. Say it again. So Vidra was the minister of the Drashtra, and then,
So when the Mahabharat war was about to happen,
huh,
Vidura said that there's only destruction in this war.
correct.
You better give up this son, Duryodhan. Otherwise, you will lose everything,
Huh.
including your son. Then Duryodhan stood up and said, insulted Vidura. He said, what kind of uncle you are? You're not supporting and all that,
Hmm,
You
hmm,
are
hmm,
brash and all this.
hmm.
At that point, Vidura said, there is no point. And that point, Dhritarashtra didn't stop Duryodhan from insulting Vidura. So Vidura said, now there is no point in continuing here.
Okay. Huh.
And then he left. Same happened with Vibhishan also, right? Isn't it? Vibhishan was convincing Ravana that, you give up Sita, otherwise, everything will be lost. But at the end, Ravana only insulted Vibhishan, and he said, because you are my brother, I won't kill you, but otherwise I'll kill you. Then Vibhishan said, fine, this is enough.
Hmm.
So, see, they were also in a very typical position in their job, right?
Yeah.
So they thought that now it is no point to continue. Why? Because we need to understand that they were very detached.
Yeah.
So consider all these points and be detached also. If it is to be done for a short period of time or a long period of time,
Mm.
Like every 2 years, 3 years, you have to evaluate whether this is working, whether it's going fine or not.
And which stage you are in, right, in terms of materially as well as I think spiritual.
Yes,
If
exactly.
materially I feel the things are getting better, there's no harm in taking easy job where you can focus more on spirituality, is what
No,
I'm
the
thinking
thing
now
is
after
not like
talking.
focus more. I would say it's a question of balance.
Balance, yes, 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 you're right, Prabhu.
It's a question of the need of your family and all that.
Correct, correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Because I am the only devotee in my house, Prabhu. Nobody else follow Krishna consciousness, so it becomes a little difficult to kind of manage. Because for them, it's all waste
no,
of
no.
time, or I'm just spending all the
Hmm.
time on myself. Whatever I have beyond work, and work hours are also very stressful. So and then chanting and then reading or whatever I do, then the family life also gets disturbed because then I'm not able to spend time with them much. So need to kind of
Yeah,
balance out both. Yeah.
yeah. You see, you need to balance out because see, everyone has a psychophysical nature. Everyone has a need,
Mm.
and all their needs need to be satisfied. Otherwise, they will get crazy. See, a
Right.
child's need of food is needs to be satisfied. Emotional need also needs to be satisfied, and same with other family members, and same with ourselves also. Our physical, mental, emotional needs all need to be satisfied. So, considering all these things, we should see whether the present job that we are doing and all that is helping or not, like that.
Sure.
If it is disturbing too much, right, then for a short period of time, one can what to say tone
Go a
down.
little easy or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, one can tone down, and then
Mm-hmm.
because see, we are going through phases of life. Now, every year is not the same as the previous year.
Correct. Correct.
So, like some people when the child is born, they give up job, but after 5 years, 6 years, they take up job again, or let's say
Mm-hmm.
8 years, 9 years. So that starts makes sense. They are giving more time there, and then they are starting managing after 8 years and all that. Then again, uh, when they are like 20, 21, then they give up job completely, something like that. So
Yes.
we get to learn from a lot of people who are thinking about this, because it's not like because yeah, people are very thoughtful also. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
But thank you so much,
So
Prabhu. I think it was really helpful. You stretched because of me.
yeah, no problem.
Really appreciate, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay, so we will stop here
Sure, Prabhu.
and we'll meet next week and we'll continue.
Sure, Prabhu. Sure.
Thank you
Hare
very much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.